Hey guys, it's about beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Look at this fancy box and bottle. 22 ounce bomber. This is Firestone Walker Brewing. They're out in California. This is a Sucaba. This is a 2015 edition that my brother Rico sent me a while back, and we're just now getting into it, to doing these bigger beers out of the closet and the cellar and fridge. And I think I may even have an older version of this that I've had for forever downstairs in the other fridge, and we will more likely get to that before too long, because I'm getting more of the pales and IPAs and double IPAs sent to me, as opposed to the big heavier barley wines, imperial stouts and imperial porters. I usually reserve those for the final beer of the evening, which this is for me. This is a fairly big beer. Comes in a big fancy box. And more than likely they probably has reduced this, because from what I'm hearing and seeing, they're putting these in 12 ounce bottles in a little shorter box now, so these big bombers. This is a 2015, and it's saying the IBUs are 42 and the ABV is 13.3 on this one. And Beer Advocate doesn't list them, they clump them all together, and the one they're saying here is a 12.5%, so it's incorrect for this particular year because they put them all together in the same category, unlike Untapped does on most of their beers. They differentiate between the years. So that's the biggest fuss I have on Beer Advocate. They just clump everything together no matter what the ABV is or what the vintage is. So a lot of that information is useless. Over to Untapped, they have the 2015 edition listed, and it's 13.3% and 42 IBUs, just like what it says on the label here. And of course, it's a retired beer since it's 2015, and then they do this beer every year. The commercial description here says, Abacus is a barrel-aged barley wine, big boozy bourbon and American oak aromas combined with soft chocolatey malt undertones, complex malt flavors, framed in oak with hints of dark chocolate, vanilla, tobacco, coconut, and a touch of dark cherry. This is definitely a sipping beer, best served in a brandy snifter. Well, I've got my snifter, but it's not a brandy snifter. It's my favorite glass. Y'all see me use this beer 99% of the time, unless I'm drinking a lager or a wheat beer or something. It is my favorite glass. And people ask me all the time, where'd you get that glass? Where can I get that glass? Well, guys, it's on every beer review. If you'll look underneath and it says show more for the scale and everything, before you get down too far, it'll say show more. And it has all the information you need underneath there, and the pretentious beer glass company that makes this glass is there. And I just don't understand why people don't click that show more on there if they want to get more information about the beer review that they're looking at, because it's on every single one. So click that show more, and it's going to show you my grade scale and the sites that I recommend, and this beer glass company is in there. So anybody that's watching and wants to know where the glass come from or where they can get one, it is there. You click on that link and it's going to take you to that site, and they have a bunch of different glasses. And they have actually sent me some glasses. This one was sent to me by my good friend Parrish out in California for a birthday present many years ago. And it is my favorite glass. It's a very thick, heavy, thick-walled glass, not real fragile like a lot of the beer glasses are. If you look at them, they'll crack. This one is super thick, big, thick-walled glass, but I will tell you, it never gets to the dishwasher. I hand wash my beer glasses. Never put them in a dishwasher. That's not a good thing to do, especially if there's any kind of writing or anything on your beer glass. Don't put them in a dishwasher because it's going to take all that writing off of it. So I hand wash this glass every time that there's a beer poured in it. So it has never seen a dishwasher tray, and it's never going to see a dishwasher tray as far as I'm concerned. I don't put my beer glasses in a dishwasher. I don't put any beer glass in a dishwasher. Everything, even on my go-to beer glasses, my pint glasses, they get hand washed. They don't go into the dishwasher. Never, ever. So never put your beer glass in a dishwasher unless you're a lazy SOB. Wash it by hand. It's going to last you a long, 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 long time. You start putting them in the dishwasher and they get that super hot temperature and stuff. It's not good on it. It really isn't. Dishwasher is made for dishes, not glasses. That's just my opinion. Just my 2 cents. So, let's get on with this beer. This was sent to me by my brother Rico quite a few years back, and I've been selling it. And now we're going to get to it. So, I've read your description. We got the vintage, we got the ABV, we got the IBUs, we got everything we need to know about the beer. So, and I do like the way that they do these beers. They do have a heat shrink wrapper on top, which I don't mind. It's not wax. It's not corked and cage where you got to get a pair of pliers out like I did the other day. You just pull this tab out like a wine bottle. You pull that around and everything comes right off. Really easy, real clean. I don't have a problem with this, guys. That's very nice. Put a cap on it, and if you want to put wax on it, put this on instead. It's going to do the same damn thing. And you ain't got to have a knife and start carving and cut your damn self all to hell. It's a very easy way to get into the beer, and if you want to do something a little more dressier, you can do that. So, again, just my 2 cents. Nice hiss. Look at the smoke coming out of that. Very, very nice. I am a little disappointed. The beer is here. It only needs an inch of headspace, so they're actually screwing you out of about an inch of beer there. So, it's not evaporated. The cap was on very good. Nice hiss. Smoke. It is carbonated, but they kind of screwed you out of about an inch of beer there. And this is not a cheap bottle of beer to buy. It wasn't then anyway. Like I said, I think they're putting these in 12-ounce bottles now. But they're still putting them in these fancy printed up cardboard boxes, which adds cost to the beer. Into the glass we go. We're going to pour this fairly aggressive unless it develops a monster head. And I don't think it is for a 13.3%er. So we're going to continue going all the way down the center here, guys. Very, very nice. Very nice. Little over a finger of head on that pour. Now the sun is popping out, getting ready to go down into the light. A very nice mahogany color. A lot of bubbles streaming up on that. Man, they're screaming up from the center of the glass. Very well carbonated. Very, very nice. Nice mahogany color. It's a little lighter down here through the thin part of the glass, but through the big bulb part, a rich red mahogany color. Very, very nice. Good looking beer. Good looking English barley wine. To the nose we go. Very nice malt notes. I am getting a big time sweetness because it's a barley wine. It smells awesome. Slight hints of some bourbon barrel. 10 years ago or so, I might have found the aroma to be a little boozy. Right now, not so much. If this is the first barley wine you've ever put to your lips, you're going to probably find this extremely boozy. And it may even blow your palate out of your mouth. And at 13.3%, if you're not used to drinking a big heavy beer of this magnitude, it's probably going to make you shit-faced. So, and like I said, this is a big 22-ounce bomber. I think they are putting them in 12s now. So, makes the cost come down a little bit. But having this fancy printed up box and putting that beer in there adds cost to the beer, which I am not a fan of. They could just as soon put it in a 4-pack and probably be just as cheap. Probably. I don't know. I'm not in the beer brewing industry. I'm not a head brewer anywhere. That is not an occupation. And if I was 20 years, 30 years younger, that may be an occupation that I may be interested in getting into. But right now, being 62 and semi-retired, not something I want to do every day. My health is not there. My knee has been going crazy since January. I may even have to go back to the doctor again. I already went once in January and they were scared to death to do anything to me since I just had a heart attack and was going for eye surgery the following day. But it is not right. There's something going on and I am hobbling around like a one-legged man. So more than likely I'm going to have to go back. There's definitely something going on with that knee again. It's swollen up and it's twice the size of my other knee. So getting old sucks. It really does. So back to the beer. Smells good. Looks good. Let's see if it tastes good. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Awesome smell. Wow. Absolutely fantastic taste on that. The bourbon notes are there. The maltiness is there. Not overpowering. Hints of caramel, toffee. Maybe a slight hint of some molasses, bittersweet chocolate. I got a feeling we're going to get more vanilla and coconut as it warms up from the barrel aging. That is an impressive beer to taste and to drink. Outstanding, guys. That is a very, very well made beer and it has cellared extremely well. Rico, again, my brother, I do appreciate all the wonderful beers that you send me, man. You are absolutely fantastic, awesome, and I wish you'd contact me and tell me when you're going to come down and spend another weekend with me. We got a bunch of beers we can taste together. I'm sure I can find something in the cellaring fridge or the closet you haven't had before, and if you want to jump back into another utopia, we'll do that too. So I don't, like I said, the only time I've got 3, 6, I got 8 different canisters of different years of utopias, and I've only opened one, and that was with him. So and we only had a little bit of it. I still got some of it because those beers are not carbonated. They're like liquor. The alcohol is so heavy and thick, 26 to 28 percenters. They're not carbonated. So you open it up and you pour what you want. You put the cap back on it just like a bourbon bottle or any kind of liquor, and you set it back on the shelf, and it's there when you come back again. It's not like a regular beer because the alcohol is so intense and so heavy on those beers. But this is a very, very tasty beer. So we're going to let it warm up to room temperature as we sip on it. And we'll come back and see where it ends up in the grade. Very impressive beer to me right now. Stick around. I'll be right back. Hello everybody. Welcome back. I've got just a little bit left here in the glass. I sipped on it about an hour or so. Not much lacing us up on the glass. And the back end pour was very cloudy. Not quite to the bright red ruby mahogany color that the original pour was done. Of course, you got to expect that from a beer that's been cellared for approximately 4 years now. Still a very tasty beer, a very impressive beer. The bourbon notes are there, the malt characteristics, the sweetness from the barley wine, caramel, toffee, maybe a slight hint of some dark fruit notes in there now, raisin, dates, plums, figs. A very impressive beer. Like I said, I don't think they still do these in the 22-ounce bombers. I think they're doing these in a 12-ounce version now. Not sure because I haven't looked and haven't bought anything recently from this brewery. But from what I'm seeing and what I've heard, I think they're putting these in a 12-ounce bottle now instead of a 22-ounce bomber, which may save you a little bit of money. But they're still putting them in these big fancy printed up boxes, a little shorter box now for the smaller beer bottles. Very tasty beer, but it is an expensive beer to buy. But you're going to get, it costs a lot of money to brew a beer of this magnitude at 13.3%. A lot of hops, and then they put it in a barrel for however long they determine they want to leave it there until it gets to the characteristics they want before they bottle it. But it is a very tasty beer, a very enjoyable beer, a great final beer of the evening, which it is for me. And had somebody comment that I was leaving too much in the glass for the final chug, and I was drinking half the beer at a time. I mean, no matter what you do, you're going to piss somebody off. I mean, somebody's always got some negative comments or a dislike. Hit the dislike button on your beer reviews, no matter what you say or what you fucking do. It's amazing to me. I get the wonderful comments that I do, then I get the negative comments that I do. But I guess you're going to expect that with somebody like me that's been doing beer reviews for as long as I have. You're going to get the haters in that crowd. So it is what it is. And it used to bother me, but it doesn't anymore, guys. If you don't like what you're saying, don't watch it. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. I do appreciate the wonderful comments that I do get. And I'm sorry I don't post a comment for everyone. I do try to look at everyone and hit the like button for your comments. But unless you're asking me a question or something like that, I do appreciate you commenting on the beer reviews. So it is what it is. It's the day and age we live in. Not everybody's happy about what you're doing. And I take it with a grain of salt nowadays. So if you like what I'm doing, post a comment. And if you don't like, go yourself. You're probably watching the wrong beer review if you don't like what I'm saying. That's the way. I'm 62 and really don't give a rat's ass. Hopefully you like what I'm doing, and a lot of people do, and some people don't. So it is what it is, isn't it? Alright, let's get back to the beer. Very nice beer. A well-made beer, cellared very well. A little more cloudy on the back end pour than it was on the original pour. It's very, very cloudy. It looks like Mississippi River water now. But you gotta expect that when you cellar a beer for a long time. So it is what it is. Right. A lot of sediment in the bottom of the bottle and a lot of sediment in the glass. A big heavy cake on the bottom of the bottle. Very tasty. The bourbon notes are there still. To me, it's selling very, very well, guys, and I think it's an excellent example of what a bourbon barrel aged beer should be in a barley wine style. Very, very tasty. Very, very tasty. Whether you drink it fresh or you decide to cellar it for a while, just remember the longer you cellar it, the more cloudy it's going to become on the back end pour, and the heavier the yeast cake's going to be on the bottom of it, or the sediment cake is going to be on the bottom of the bottle. And it's going to transpose into your glass if you pour the back end of the bottle into your glass. So it is what it is. Nothing that's going to hurt you, just be aware of that. If that offends you, you may not want to cellar it. You may want to drink it fairly fresh, because the longer you cellar it, the more shit's going to settle into the bottom of the bottle and into your glass when you pour it into it. So just be aware of that. If you don't want that, drink it fresh. And if you don't mind that, sell it for however long you want to. This one is 2015 and we're in 2019, approximately 4 years old. I find it very tasty, guys. I find it's a very, very nice example of a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. So, with that being said, guys, I don't think there's anything that I could say to change how the beer is made. I'm not a head brewer in the brewery or anything like that, but I find it very, very enjoyable. The bourbon notes are there even after 4 years. Very nice. A great final beer of the evening for me. So, Rico, once again, my brother, I do appreciate you sending this to me, and sorry that it's taken a little longer to get it reviewed, but when I get these big beers and I get a lot of the other lower ABV beers like pale ales, IPAs, and double IPAs, I try to get to them a little quicker than these bigger beers which you can cellar for a little while, which I did for this one. So, very tasty beer, guys. You ought to pick this up if you like this style of beer, especially a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. Very, very nice. So, 10 for me, guys. I'm going to give it a 10. There's no reason why I should not. very enjoyable. I got all the notes that they were wanting you to get, other than having a little heavier sediment cake on the bottom of it, which clouded up the beer on the final back end pour. It is a very tasty beer. So let's jump over to Beer Advocate, and they say, and like I said, they clump them all together, and the ABV is all misconstrued because they do all of them together. This is a 13.3%, and Beer Advocate has this is a 12.5%. So that information is a little bit wishy-washy. So they have it at 4.52, which is world class. I would agree. It is a world class beer, guys. It is a very exceptionally well-made beer. So if you have a 2015 in your cellar, you may want to drink it now, especially if you don't care for that big heavy sediment cake on the bottom of the bottle. It doesn't bother me in this style of beer, but it is very, very nice, very pleasant. Cellared well as far as I'm concerned. Over to Untappd. Untappd says it's 4.42. Not the best numbers I've seen from them on this beer, but it's still an A to an A plus beer. That's where I'm putting it, A plus. So it is what it is. I enjoyed it. Very tasty beer. Great final beer to eating for me. So with that being said, if you've had the Sucaba 2015 recently, or if you have one, you may want to drink it now if you don't care for that sediment cake and a cloudy beer. But if you don't, it's going to be pretty tasty. It is going to be, and you could probably sell this for a long, long time after that. But just be aware, the longer you cellar it, the heavier that sediment cake is going to get in the bottom of the bottle. And if you don't care for that, that may be offensive to you. So if it's not offensive to you, drink it now or drink it later. So if you've had the 2015 Sucaba from Firestone Walker Brewing recently, let me know what you think. Until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.